can we make resin art jewellery with paper clips? What did the paper clip say to the magnet? I find you very attractive. Right, I'm trying my hardest to hold it all together, said the paperclip. I'll get my coat. Right, we are back with another crazy experiment. I don't know whether this has been done before. I don't even know if it's going to work. If it does, it could change a few things, I suppose. I don't know. So can we make a piece of resin art from just a paperclip? So what I'm thinking is, I had a little play around with these the other day, didn't I, in a video where we used it to create the heart effect with the cat eye nail polishes. And it's got me thinking as to whether we could bend these to make a bezel, like a frame. I don't know what. I mean, that kind of looks like a cactus. But then you've got those bits that aren't really joined. But I remember doing something with paper clips when I was younger, and I think this could work. We're just going to bend the paper clip out. So that wouldn't work. But when we bring them out and touch them together, it's a bit misshapen, but we can straighten that out. See that? We have a bezel that we can use. And with these, you've got lots of different colours. And I know you can get lots of different styles as well, not just coloured ones. You can get really vibrant paper clips. But look at that. Okay, you can just see the seam there, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. And as much as I hate the stuff, I'm going to be using this. I don't think I can hold that down and fill it with resin without using the bezel tape. So I want to try. I might do it with flowers to begin with and just see how it works. Look at that though. Right, it's not symmetrical, or is it? I don't know. I can't really tell. Really quick to do as well. So I just made another one. You do want to make sure that they're flat as well. So if they've got any bends to them, just bend them out until you want it sitting flat on the tape. Just cut off a snip. I want to do them separately, not on the same piece of tape, so that I can move one out the way whilst I'm working on the other one. Just going to rest that on, and then I need to push it down. I'm going to push the join down first, and then I think use my cocktail stick just to roll over to make sure it's all touching that tape. So I don't really want any leaks. Get off. Always fold the corner over. I've learnt that, but I never do it. I say I learnt that. It's you guys that taught me that, but I always get stuck in my old ways. Again, you know me, I like the struggle. Okay, so they're both now stuck to the tape. Now, what we can do, we can just go all in if we want. Let's move you aside. Let's do this one first. I think what we can do to prevent any leaks, focus, is just apply some UV resin here and cure it in place, just to stop anything from leaking out the tiniest of gaps. Again, just using my cocktail stick and my flashlight. Gonna just seal that edge in. Could have done this before I applied it to the tape, I suppose. Just create like a seal and then cure that in place. What I do is I work on one and then I can show you both at the end. Now I can apply my UV resin. I'm just going to go in with a thin layer to begin with, just so I can cure that. I'm going to use my silicone tip brush. Just work that all the way to the edges. And again, I'm using the Resin Rockers Clear Hard Type UV resin for this. You could do this with epoxy, but you have got that risk of that join. You may be able to work around that. Now just going around the edges, making sure there's no little trap bubbles, and then blast those with some heat. As we don't want bubbles in there. Then I'm just going to give that a minute under my beast of a lamp. What I didn't think about before I cured that layer is I could have added a jump ring in there, just to save on drilling at the end, but it doesn't really matter. Now that layer is cured, I'm going to apply another thin layer. Remember guys, this is thin layers. You don't want to go too crazy, because when you come to add in the final layer, it's gonna run over the sides. And I'm just going to spread that out again also. Now you can go with any dried flowers you like. I've got these, Resin Rockers sent me these a while back. I'm just going to add one into the piece. I'm going to go with this big one here. And I'm going to add some more actually, not that one, but I'll add some more from a different pack. I think just some of this foliage. Is that what you call it? I think so. Just down the bottom. That would do. I don't want to go too crazy. We just want to see if the paperclip will work, and it is. We already know. So by leaving the flower the amount of time, you can see it's soaked up some of the UV resin, which means it's releasing air through the flower head as it's soaking it up. It is important to leave the dried flowers to soak for a little while before you cure them. Otherwise, as the heat's generated during the curing process, it's just going to start foaming from that flower head. So I'm going to give that another 5 minutes just to soak up some of the resin. Now I'm happy that that's been soaking for a good 5 minutes or so. I could just use my pocket torch and just begin to cure that. It was just enough to make sure the flower head really is not going to release any bubbles. So I can now just top coat this and just seal everything over. Again, just drag that all the way to the edge. As always, massive shout out to my channel members, anyone who's bought me a coffee or a super thanks. We are flying through 80,000 subs now, so if you haven't subbed, hit that button for me. It is going crazy. Thank you to any new subscribers to the channel. Now I can bring out the beast and just give that a final 1 minute cure, and then I'm going to turn it over and cure it from the underneath just to make sure any resin that's behind that flower head is also cured. And there you have a completely bubble-free flower. Now we can just peel off this tape. Hopefully it won't do what it usually does for me and leave a sticky residue. So far so good guys. Like so. Got a little bit down in the corners, but I'm not that fussed. Now I'm just going to drill a hole in the top with my hand drill. I'm hoping I've left myself enough room. I'm going to just bend out that part of the earring loop. This is what I mean. I could have added a jump ring for this bit to save the drilling. Just feed that through, then bend that back, and then I'm going to make the other one off camera. I'm going to film it for a different platform, and we'll see the results. Okay, so with this one, I just decided to add another flower at the top. But they're really cool, and they hang perfectly. They're not off balance. I'll show you on my mannequin thing in a minute. But as always, give the video a thumbs up, drop me a comment. If you haven't subbed, hit that button for me. And I think we could potentially bend these into different shapes to get different shaped bezels. But how crazy is that? And it actually works. Resin art from a paperclip. And there it is. Just play around with it. You could do lots of different styles in this. I wonder if I could get like Petri effects in there as well. Right, I hope you enjoyed that video. I will see you for the next one. Bye for now.